Bad Boys of the Black Hills and Some Wild Women Too. Written by Barbara C. Pfeiffer. Published in 2008. Perfect for people who like the dangerous adventures of the Wild Wild West during the time of the Gold Rush era. In this Wild West nonfiction study by Barbara Pfeiffer, you can imagine yourself going back in time to the 1800s. Although this book discusses really famous outlaws such as Wild Bill Hickok, Buffalo Bill Cody, Calamity Jane, and Wyatt Earp, we will also see some of the adventures of some less famous wild women and other characters of the Gold Rush era. This nonfiction study takes place in the late 1800s and covers on the area of the Black Hills in South Dakota, Wyoming, and Nebraska. The author focuses mostly on the small mining camp named Deadwood. Deadwood is located in a narrow gulch in what was called the Dakota Territory. Deadwood was settled when placer gold was discovered in the Black Hills. Soon there were gamblers, merchants, prostitutes, dance hall girls, saloons, and other businesses there. Even after the placer gold ran out, Deadwood continued to thrive because it was at the end of the line for all the trains heading to that part of the country. The most famous character that Deadwood was known for is Wild Bill Hickok. He was born in 1836 in Illinois. He was a frontier lawman and gunslinger. He worked hard at his shooting skills, and he did target practice every day. On August 2nd, 1876, Hickok was camping and prospecting near Deadwood. He went into town to play some cards at the number 10 saloon. He found a game in progress at his usual table, and he asked Charles Rich if he could take his seat so he could face the front door. Rich would not give up his lucky seat, so Hickok sat down beside him, and across the table was Captain William Massey, a famous steamboat captain that Hickok had been at cards the night before. This time, Massey was beating Hickok when a man named Jack McCall came in the front door. He was drunk, and the card players ignored him. McCall slided down the bar and jumped behind Hickok's back and shot him right through the base of his brain and out his right cheek. The bullet lodged in Captain Massey's left wrist, where it stayed until his death. Wild Bill Hickok might be the most famous person in Deadwood, but there are many other characters that are less known that the author wrote about as well. One such character was a free black man from Louisiana named Samuel Fields. He had served in the Union Army during the Civil War, and in Deadwood he promoted himself to general. The newspapers started calling him really offensive names such as General Darky. When a local school teacher was murdered, the teacher's husband accused Fields of murdering her. Luckily, he was proven innocent, but a lot of people still thought he got away with murder. Another lesser-known character was Madame Mustache. Her real name was Eleanor Dumont. She was the daughter of French immigrants. She got her nickname because of her hair on her upper lip. Madame Mustache was a faro dealer, which is a gambler card game. As well, she became a madam. She had a temper, and one night after winning at the gambling table, she was attacked by thieves in the street. She killed one of them and wounded the other. When she got older, her mind was not as sharp. She started losing her money. One night, 2 card shops beat her and cleaned her out financially. After leaving the gambling table, she committed suicide by consuming a bottle of morphine. Finally, one of the craziest characters was Al Swainer. Swainer was born in Iowa in 1845. He and his first wife, Nettie, moved to Deadwood in 1876. He built a wooden-floored saloon dance hall in the Cavers tent. Nettie divorced him and he married Kitty Austin. He hired Kitty and Calamity Jane as his dancers. He had 3 wives altogether, and they all ended in divorce, claiming he was physical, abusive, and infinity. Swainer began to advertise in small town newspapers in Iowa and Nebraska. He was looking to hire young ladies to work as servants for hotels and rich families in town. When the new girls arrived in Deadwood, he forced them into prostitution. Swainer kept the women as sex slaves. The women had to give half of their income to him. As well, they also had to pay for their food, lodging, clothes, doctor's visits, etc. The women were also in debt to him, and they could never work off what they owed him. Swainer and his managers abused them physically and mentally. In April 1877, Swainer opened the Gem Theater. It had a curtain stage, dance hall, saloon, and a gambling parlor. It was Deadwood's fanciest house of entertainment for men. There were curtain cribs around the stage for prostitution. At the Gem's height of popularity, Swainer was making about $35,000 during a week compared to a factory worker who would only make about $18 per week. Swainer was charged with assault and battery many times, and when his customers got too rowdy, they were kicked out and beat up. By the 1890s, Deadwood was no longer a boomtown. Swainer was deeply in debt. The Gem Theater burned down in 1899, and Swainer left the Black Hills, and 5 years later, he died with no money to his name. In conclusion, her book Bad Boys of the Black Hills and Some Wild Women Too, Barbara Pfeiffer shows just how multi-layered the Black Hills history is. In particular, Deadwood sums up the variety of characters that made the Wild West so wild. The outlaws and entertainers, the gunslingers, the prostitutes, the steamboat captains, gamblers, and the miners all lived together and created an interesting, unique history. Pfeiffer's book captures the true feeling of the Black Hills Gold Rush, like you could be there today and wanting to learn more about it.